Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the 5 Minute Social Worker, the podcast that equips you with the essential tools of the trade, all hopefully with a side of humour. I'm Matt, your host, ready to turn the often daunting task of writing a safety plan into something as approachable as assembling flat pack furniture, but with fewer leftover screws and less cursing at the instructions. So, what exactly is a safety plan? Imagine this: you're an architect. Your client's well-being is the house you're designing. A safety plan is the blueprint. It supports the entire structure, making sure everything stands strong, even when the winds of crisis blow hard. Because nobody wants a house of cards when life gets windy. Let's get into the nuts and bolts then. The first step in crafting a solid safety plan is understanding the risks. It's like being a detective in a mystery novel, gathering clues, understanding the threats, and knowing the environment. Ask yourself this: what are the specific risks to your client? Who might pose a threat? What situations increase their vulnerability? Channel your inner Sherlock, but maybe leave the deerstalker hat at home. So, to illustrate this more, take the fictional case of Lisa, a social worker who had to develop a safety plan for a client experiencing domestic violence. Lisa didn't start with assumptions. She asked open-ended questions, listened carefully, and identified specific risks. She found out the client felt most vulnerable when their partner was drinking. This key piece of information became a cornerstone in the safety planning. It's like finding the missing piece of a jigsaw puzzle. Suddenly, the picture becomes a lot clearer. Next up, we need to develop practical strategies. Think of this as your toolbox. Just like a good DIY enthusiast, you need the right tools for the job. For each identified risk, brainstorm possible responses. If the client is at risk of physical harm, for example, establish a code word they can use to alert friends or family discreetly. It's all about creating actionable steps that the client can follow easily. Think of it as DIY for personal safety, without the need for a YouTube tutorial. Now, let's talk about resources. These are your building materials. A safety plan without resources is like a house without walls. Identify and list local shelters, hotlines, trusted friends or family members, and any other support networks. Make sure the client knows how to access these quickly and efficiently. It's like giving them a map and a compass, because who wants to be lost when they need help the most? Communication, that's the key thing here. Ensure your client understands the plan. Break it down into simple, manageable steps, like following a recipe. You wouldn't just hand someone a bag of ingredients and expect a gourmet meal, right? Walk through the plan with them, addressing any questions or concerns they may have. Think of yourself as a safety chef, whipping up a plan that's clear, concise, and totally doable. And finally, remember, a safety plan is a living document. It should evolve as a client's situation changes. Regularly review it and update the plan to ensure it remains relevant and effective. It's like updating your wardrobe for each season. Got to keep it fresh and functional. So, as we wrap up today's episode, remember, writing a good safety plan is like crafting a sturdy blueprint. It requires careful assessment, practical strategies, reliable resources, clear communication, and regular updates. When done right, it can be a lifeline for your clients. Till next time, keep building those strong foundations, stay vigilant, and remember, in the world of social work, a well-crafted safety plan can make all the difference. Happy planning, guys. Till next time, take care.